Hi Sagittarius, how are you? Welcome to my channel and welcome to your March love reading. Now, the reason I'm doing just a reading focused just on relationships and love is because we have Mercury retrograding in the sign of Pisces starting March 5th and going all the way till March 20th, so pretty much the whole month. And needless to say, it's going to be a really intense month where there's a lot of delays, roadblocks, confusion, miscommunication, misunderstandings. You name it, it's all gonna happen. Now, luckily, not all signs are gonna be affected the same. So, well, if you were really interested how this is gonna impact you specifically, you know, I would just go to any website, astrological website. I really like astroseek.com, and just pull your transits and see how, like, in what sign, in what house. Well, particularly in what house this is going to fall for you, because it's going to be in the sign of Pisces, but in what house, that's different for everybody. So needless to say, having all of this confusion happening, you know, all around us in all different areas, I feel like relationships need that little extra attention and extra focus. So I'm just gonna do a reading just looking at the relationships and how they're going to be impacted by this Mercury retrograde, and what decisions you need to take, what you need to look at, what you need to let go of, you know, Sagittarius, and what you need to move forward with. And let's see, so I'm gonna do first week, first part of the month, second part of the month, and then third part of the month. Okay, let's see what comes up for you. The Emperor. So you start strong. You're starting like with a lot of power, very creative, feeling really empowered. Then you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Something happens that kind of makes you going from this like feeling of abundance, feeling of creativity, even overflowing you, and feeling so like in your, like you're the, like almost like a lioness. And then you kind of, something happens where it's like your confidence is shattered. I wonder what happened. We'll pull some clarifiers for that, and because I'm really curious. But let's see what else happens. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. I think as you're losing control, I think something that will be said or done that would make you feel like you're losing control in the relationship, that something is not going the way you want it to go, that maybe something else is taking the reins, or maybe something that is the thought you wanted is not happening as quick as you want it to go. In the first part of the month. Yeah, because we have a 3, we have a 4, and we have a 9 right in the middle between those two. I feel like, and it really has to do with your home life. I feel like it could also has to do with your work. Maybe something in the work environment that's going to make you feel so overwhelmed, and so the things are getting out of control, that maybe your feeling of being empowered, it's going to be really affected, and that's going to really make itself known in your relationship. So for you right now, as it looks, it has to do more with your work relationships than your personal relationships, and something to do with really your career than, you know, your personal life. And then we have another 4 of Swords. Okay, so it really has to do with foundations for you. 5 of Swords. Communication. So far, a lot of Swords too, and Pentacles. We have the Magician in reverse. So in the second part of the month, we have let me show. I forgot, I didn't show you the cards. So we have the 4 of Swords. Yes, we have the 4 of Swords, the 5, hold on. We have the 4 of Swords reversed, the 5 of Swords upright, and the Magician reversed. So, let me just show them to you so you can see. Where is it? Here's the middle. So you start with the feeling of, like, you know, the first week where it's like things kind of getting out of control, things getting a little bit out of hand, maybe getting disorganized, maybe it's just like too much to do, or too many tasks on hand, too many chores, and something maybe, and because of that, I think a lot of the communication will get affected, and that's why there's the 4 of Swords here, you know, because with the 4 of Swords, it's like, you know, really getting kind of almost like feeling you're forced to do something that you don't want to do, but at the same time you kind of maybe like enjoying it. But I have the feeling that this is more like feeling pressured into do something and saying something. So I'd really be mindful in like going into that second week of like not saying something, because you feel like there's like so many things are happening, so many things like kind of getting out of control and getting unfocused and like disorganized, that you might want to like step up and then say something. But there's a chance that, you know, having the 5 of Swords there's a chance that maybe this might not really work in your favor, especially having the Magician in reverse next to this. I feel like there is a real chance of like maybe either being misunderstood, or maybe feeling like, oh, look at her, like who does she think she is, you know? So in order to avoid stuff like that, you really like want to kind of hold back a little bit and like really you know, kind of like pull the reins a little bit. And like maybe if you do feel like something's getting out of control in your work environment, I think it has to do with work specifically. I don't get a lot of relationship stuff as if with the spread so far. I mean your personal life, your dating life specifically, but I think your relationships at work will be really impacted more so than any other sign. And so at work you really have to be careful. Like, yes, you wanna make things right, you wanna get things right on the right track, and you'll feel the need to speak up. But I wonder if this is going to be a good time for you to speak up, because, you know, and if you do feel like really such a big need to do so, really think about your thoughts. Triple check your spelling, your emails, how you come across. Have your friend read the email for you and see how they understand what is being like what are you trying to say, and what point of view you're trying to come across. Because there's a real big chance of that being, especially it happening in the middle of the month, you know, where it's like Mercury's right into its full effect. There is a real big chance of things like kind of going sideways, you know, and like instead of manifesting, instead of like really creating the change that you wanted to change and bringing like that or like structure back, you're gonna be like more, it's not that it's gonna create more confusion, but it's gonna maybe not, you're not gonna be seen in a good light, so to speak, and you're gonna have like a lot of roadblocks ahead of you that people are just gonna kind of reluctant to listen to you, or reluctant to the things that you're trying to say. So in that way, like, it's gonna make it so that the change you want to bring, it's gonna be, you're gonna feel like a lot of roadblocks. You know, I feel like a lot of people just like would not want to listen, just won't listen. They'll just shut down and just won't listen. And let's see what's gonna happen for you at the end of the month. The Lovers. Beautiful. The Devil. Oof. And the 8 of Cups in reversed. So now, going from the middle of the month where we have, you know, there's this chance of being misunderstood, and then there's just like a lot of roadblocks coming your way, and like a lot of things maybe not moving as fast as you want them to move, and then not like really, you're not having the change. I keep going to change, not sure why, but there's this change that you're trying to push for, just because you feel like, and it is really, it's looking like there are things that are getting out of control, and because of that, you know, there is like things are instead of like gaining, instead of growing, you're like that growth is being staunched by something, and you're trying to address that, but you're gonna feel like people are just not ready to listen. They're not ready to see it yet, and then because of that, they're gonna put like roadblocks in you, and they're gonna be trying to push back. And but eventually at the end of the month, there will be a choice for you to make, whether you're gonna be stick with this you know, this type of relationship, or you know, kind of, because with the Devil too, you know, it has to do with a lot of the toxic indulgence, you know, overdoing things, or like maybe not being responsible, not taking responsibility for your own actions, and not pulling your own weight, right? It's like maybe somebody that feels really stuck. And with the Lovers too, it's like almost like being stuck in like this choice. It's like you want to make it, but at the same time, do you want to make it? Do you go ahead and do it? Do you not go ahead and do it? You know, I feel like with these, like the pushback that you're going to feel during the second part of the month, you know, it's really going to make you feel like you want to move forward, but you're not quite sure how to move forward just yet. And then we have the Eight of Cups, you know, ending the month, and it's in reverse. Now, Eight of Cups in reversed, like with this one, I feel like it's almost like, it's funny because it's an upright. If you look, it's like the woman is pulling away. So I feel like, yeah, you wanna create this change. You wanna make a difference, you know, and you're trying, and I think you kind of being the man, and you're trying, but then you're getting the pushback, right, from the other party involved in the situation. But they're just kind of like not seeing it. They're not ready to see it. But at the end of the month, I think they will. I think at the end of the month, they will turn around, and they will try. They will, and because the Eight of Cups, it has to do with emotions, right? Cups is the suit of emotions and feelings, and how we feel about things. I feel like in the middle of the month, they're not ready to see it, but by the end of the month, they'll be more open to it. To see your point of view, your point across. But at the same time, for some of you, I think it's going to be also more of a decision that you have to make, whether you're going to be stuck with this situation, right, with this like for a while, because you might last for a little bit longer, maybe till August, until you actually see the things moving along, and then it's getting into a better place and getting them to where you wanted them to be. Or you're gonna have to decide whether you, one, like stick it out, or two, whether you kind of move forward and trying to break free from this relationship, whether you're going to be able to let go and move forward. You know, it's like, what is going to make sense to you emotionally, you know, in this particular relationship. But I feel like for some of you, really, it's about work. Now, at the end of the month, I think with the Devil, I think there is the Devil is the card of the Capricorn. For some of you, at the end of the month, you might find that there is like some sort of a love triangle situation happening, where you feel like so drawn to this person that you just can't explain it. But at the same time, it's like, it's not, you don't feel that being reciprocated to the same degree. So that's another message that is coming through, and that's specifically at the end of the month for some of you Sagittarius. Okay, but let's clarify. Let's put some clarifiers. So the Empress is clarified. Yeah, you're going to be in your power. You're starting the month really strong, really clear on what you want to do, really seeing things for what they are, and hence you're trying to push for that change. Yeah, with the, so we have the Nine of Cups clarifying the Nine of Pentacles, right? It's really, you're seeing things for what they are, and you're like, man, this is not what I want. This is not working out the way I want it. It's not the foundation that I want. It's not the relationship that I want, you know, and you like trying to change things to make them better. Let's see, what's the Four of Pentacles about? The Hanged Man in reversed. Yeah, again, you're trying to, things getting out of hand, things not being like they're really, you know, it's almost like when you flip things over and but you didn't know that something. So let's say if you have like a cup on the table, and if you didn't know it has water, but by mistake it gets flipped, and it's water everywhere, right? So I feel like with these two combined, I feel that's what's happening. It's like that spilled water that just gets everywhere, and you're like, oh my god, there's just so much to deal with, you know. But it's like that situation of like really getting out of hand and not being like that, feeling that stability and feeling that like peacefulness and ease that comes with like when the Hanged Man is an upright position, where he's just like hangs there, right? He just like absorbs everything in. But with the Hangman in reverse, it's like it's time for action. It's time to make a change, because he already like decided what needs to get done, and you did. In the beginning, you knew, you were able to see things for what they are, and that's why, you know, things are just like, all of a sudden you seem like, oh my god, things are just like, it's getting out of hand here. And then they were like, maybe they always were, I just didn't see them till now, right? And then let's see what the second part of the month is. Queen of Wands, clarifying the Four of Swords. It's like that pushback, again, going to that pushback, like, you know, you might feel that like there's people around that would be like trying to you know, put you down, or put what you're doing, like that it's not the right thing, that's not the right time, that what are you trying to do, who you think you are. You know, I feel like you might hear that a lot during this month. Let's see, Five of Swords, clarified by the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, just things are getting really out of hand. They're just not working out. And then there's really just like that foundation is being pulled, like that rug is being pulled under you. And it's just a lot of things just being like, you know, the boat is being rocked hard. That's what I can say. Let's see. The Magician. Why is the Magician reversed? The Eight of Swords in reverse. Now, the Eight of Swords, when it's in reversed, right, it's like seeing things for what they are. And I think this is with the Magicians. Like I said, people like, I think some of them are not going to want to see what's going on, and not want to listen to you. And that's their choice. It's not that they can't, it's just they don't want to. You know, and that's going to be able to, you know, even though you are seeing things for what they are, you are getting out of like that stuck feeling. Like you want to get things done, you want to get things moving and then growing and expanding, but people are just stuck in like in their own little like bubble, in their own like little comfort zone, that it's just like, even though it's bad, but that's what they know and they feel comfortable with it. And then I think that's where the pushback is coming from. Let's clarify the Lovers. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, a very like aggressive energy coming back, and I feel like that's where the choice is going to be. It's like, it's going to be, maybe you're going to feel pressured into making a decision. But let's see some more, because the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight out of the whole deck, and it's really like, it's really, really fast. It's really aggressive. It has a lot to say, and sometimes he doesn't really think of what he's saying. He just says things, right? So I feel like there is a potential of a lot of things being said, but in a mean way, you know, and then like maybe not even like intentionally being mean, but it more just because people are overreacting. Because they put like in this, I feel like with this, they're putting like in this like, oh, make a decision. You know, you have to make a decision. And when they feel pressure, they kind of like crack under pressure, right? And then they kind of be like, well, again, who are you to tell me what to do? And who are you? So it's like there's going to be an exchange of words. It's going to be a harsh exchange of words that's going to happen just because of this decision that needs to be made. And then we have the Chariot clarifying the Devil. Well, Chariot is like, again, options. It's about choices. It's about passion, right? So I think with the Devil, I feel like somebody is really doesn't want to change. Somebody is really stuck into the old ways of doing things, into like that, because it's their comfort zone. That's all they know, and then they want to just to keep that going, you know. And let's clarify the 8. It might also, for some of you, for a small part of you, that will be involved in a lot of dating maybe during this month. I think you'll be doing a lot of travel, to go meet different partners and go on different dates. And it's actually exciting. I think for that part, I think for like a small group of you, I think there's going to be a lot of dating, a lot of sex, a lot of maybe experimentation as well. But that involves like travel, a little bit of a travel. So maybe, or maybe whoever you're dating might be from a different country, a different area, a different zone, a different state, a different town. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out for you. Okay, clarifying the Eight of Cups in reversed. The Death. It's actually a good card to finish because it's that change that you wanted to happen, right? It's that change that, do you move forward? Do you let go of things, right? Do you let go? Or are you being stuck in the same routine, in the same cycle, in the same things happening the same exact way that they've been happening before? Or do you move forward? You know, I think this is a choice that only you can make, or you're going to be forced to make it. You know, one way or another, this choice is going to be made. And then there's going to be change happening. With Death, it's like, you know, with the Tower, there's change happening, but it's unexpected change. With Death, you see it coming. And you already saw it coming. You knew since the beginning of the month that this needs to be changed. This needs to be done. And I keep like, how many times did I say change during this reading, right? Here it is. It's coming at the end of the month. But I think with Mercury retrograde happening pretty much the whole month, it's a time of like not rushing into things. And I think that's why you're getting so much pushback, because it wasn't the right time. But at the end of the month, once Mercury goes back, goes direct, you will see things happening, and you'll things changing around. And maybe that's where like this Chariot is, you know, like you will start like things really start picking up pace again, that this change will push forward, this change, this new beginning that is coming. And let me pull one oracle card for you and see what that's that extra message. Let me see. Yeah, a lot of pushback, but you know what? I think this pushback is going to make you feel stronger. It's going to make you see things and like see the power in you and see like how strong you are, because you are in your power, and you knew from the beginning of the month that this needs to happen. And then you're going to get validated at the end of the month. It's just, you know, be patient, really, really be patient. Watch your words, watch how you talk, triple check your like your emails, your text messages. You know, if you did send in and maybe they got into a junk or spam folder, you know, like maybe follow up a little later, a couple of days later, you know, and then really be mindful of not saying something that you will later regret, you know, because I think with the Ace of Swords is like this, always brings this, when it comes to communication, this like aggressiveness, you know, like people just like kind of reacting, like not thinking first. So really, yeah, really be careful. Be careful of those things. Okay. Never-ending story. Now let me pull one more. Truth be told. And I'm gonna look at, because I pulled this one, right? Fork in the road. I think this is totally the theme of the month. It's like that choice. What are you gonna do? You know what needs to get done. You know, and you know it's coming. And you know it's necessary. But which way it's gonna go, it's time will tell. It could go either never-ending story, or we get stuck in the past with that devil, right? It's like it's so comfortable being where it is and like being that like toxic environment that people just feed on, and then just because people are miserable and they just like want to be everybody else to be miserable, and they're gonna drag them into their misery. Or, you know, people are gonna see things for what they are, and then they will be seeing the truth, and then they'll be moving forward with that and really making huge changes, you know, huge changes. that would really benefit everybody, you know. So it's going to be a major month that will require a lot of patience on your part, Sagittarius. You know, that's not really a time to really move fast. It's really take a step back. If you feel yourself like getting really amped up, take a deep breath. Like, really, if you need to, like, maybe step away and do that, but do not react, do not get sucked into people's like mind games right now, because if you do, you might be like repeating the same cycle over and over again, and you're not going to be able to see that change happen, you know, that you so much crave, and you need that it needs to you know that it needs to happen, you just know it, you know. Well, so I'm going to leave you with this, Sagittarius, and I hope it's going to be a change that you really want, and I hope it's going to be for the better. And I hope that for you this month, communication is going to be as less of a pushback, even though I feel like it's going to be a lot of pushback for you. But, you know, just be careful with your communication this month, okay? So wish you a great month ahead. Lots of changes, lots of challenges as well, but you can do it. You can do it. Okay, well, I'll see you in April. Bye.